Awesome! Welcome back, guys. I am Mel, and this is downstairs stage. We have all the awesome panels and parties later in the evening. So, up next, we have cosplay on a budget. If you ever wanted to do cosplay, but you don't really know how to sew, or you don't, have enough money, like me, I'm a student. I am broke because I spend all my money on food and living at uni, and also maybe some drinks. So, I will introduce Idiots in Woods. Okay. Right. Okay, we are two members of Idiots and Wigs. Anyway, we are two members of Idiots and Wigs. I am Sly Crazy and this is Pixie Alchemist. And we're here to talk to you about cosplay on a budget. Where to start? Cosplay is a very expensive hobby, as we all know. And a lot of cosplayers will be from around the student age, that we won't have a lot of disposable income, and we will be paying things like rent, textbooks, alcohol in a lot of cases. And we won't have that much money to spend on cosplays. You see some people on like Facebook going, oh, I spent only $3,000 on this, and I'm like, what? Okay, that's it. So we've kind of come together with some ideas about how we have managed to create cosplays over the last 6 or so years, no, more than that, 8 years, a long time. And how we managed to create cosplays on not exactly a shoestring budget, but on a very limited budget. They range on cut corners, ways you can get things done cheaper, how to actually create stuff like these costumes here, without spending a lot of money having to sell those retail orders. So, how to start? We know that cosplay is a horrifically expensive hobby. We know that things like wigs, makeup, contacts, props, fabric, buying cosplays, convention tickets, buying merch, it's all going to add up. So, here's some things we thought that's going to help you get by without going completely broke. Here. Okay. We wrote a list because we are organised and we love lists. Let's start with everybody's favourite, charity shops. Okay, come on. Everybody loves charity shops. They are an amazing resource for cosplayers. You can get cheap fabric from charity shops. You can even get bed sheets really cheaply. And you can buy them to different colours and use those. Make sure you wash them first though. You can also use, if you buy clothes from charity shops, you can get cheap clothes for like £1 from charity shops. I should know I used to volunteer at a charity shop. And that was really handy actually for cosplay reasons. But you can get cheap clothes, they can only be like £1 or £2. You can literally take clothes apart to see how they're made, and you're not wasting much money, which is always good. Little example of this, I made a dress for Princess Bubblegum for Adventure Time a couple of years back at university when I was still learning dressmaking. So I was far too cheap to buy fabric at an actual fabric shop. I just wanted to play around with the pattern a bit. So what we did was we went down to a charity shop and we bought a king-size bed sheet from there. And then the comments were like, you might want to wash it out before you put it on your bed. And I was like, oh. So what we did was we picked out all the elastic from the edges to eventually have a large rectangular piece of fabric. We then dyed that in fabric dye that we bought in the supermarket. And then play around with the pattern. Therefore you have pink fabric or you have the fabric that you need. And you can just play around with it. It didn't look that fantastic, but it was good because it was a nice test run. A lot of fabric shops have special offers. They have really cheap polycotton, which is like the really thin stuff that like shirts are made out of. That's usually super cheap, like £2-3. So you can buy a lot of it and you just make mock-ups for costumes or use it for like, like practicing, repair work, anything like that. It's always great around the charity shop. You're doing some good in the world and you're getting a lot of cool stuff for cosplay. For those of you who actually know us as cosplayers, you may know Prince Gumball with his little sweater vest. That came from a charity shop. And that has become quite famous on the internet. And it's cute too. Another way of making things cheaper is to do closet cosplay.
those of you who don't know what cosplay is, it's basically when you use stuff that you've already got. You do a closeted version, depending on what you've got in your closet, which obviously if you've already got it, it makes it a lot cheaper. Sometimes all you may need is a wig, so that you can have the right hairstyle, and you can just throw together a casual version of pretty much any cosplay.
Okay, so for example, Prince Gumball was a closet cosplay because everybody was to make his actual royal uniform. So what you use is a purple shirt, pink skinny jeans, purple boots, the wig, and the now apparently famous sweater vest. All that is clothes that I already had in my wardrobe, so all I had to do was find a wig, which I actually reused the previous one, and got a little crown, accessories, and boots that I recognise in the wardrobe. Plus, like that is they are stupidly comfortable, so you can actually wear these cons, still be recognised as a character, but not be sweating so much you stood up like a raisin. It's amazing.
See. One thing that people often forget about when doing cosplay is you don't have to be 100% accurate to be recognised as a character. So try not to worry too much if you can't afford the right shoes. As long as you've got the important parts of the cosplay, then people will know who you are, so it doesn't matter if it's not 100%.
Right, everyone's favourite topic, wigs. They are really difficult getting the right kind of wig, especially buying online. It's very difficult because you can't see the exact colour, the exact style, you can't check the thickness, all that kind of stuff. So, you know what I mean? Be very careful when shopping for wigs. If you're buying them on places like eBay, look for multi-angle shots. You buy one from the front, one from the side, one from the back, preferably. Because that way you can see a lot of times wigs that are gorgeous from the front, and at the back they are very kind of sparse with the weft. You can get massive holes in the back, they're not great. Do your research, read some reviews of them. If they're really cheap wigs, like I'm talking like £2-3, it's probably too good to be true. A lot of the time I have found some eBay sellers do use stock photos of certain wigs, and what you get is not what's on the image, so do make sure that you have some good photos of the wig that you want to buy. Make sure you can check the colour. A lot of places like Coscraft will do colourings of the wefts, of the colours they actually have. I highly recommend buying those for about £10. Because that way you can check the colours against what they've got. So for example, whatever name the colour is, you will know that is what colour it is. You can test it from lights, against the fabrics, against your skin tones. You'll know exactly what you're getting. So it's always good to be really careful when buying wigs. Try and use wigs for multiple cosplay. So for example, if you've got a short blonde wig, you can probably use it for Attack on Titan, you can use it for Uriel, you can use it for like Vocaloid cosplay, you can use it for multiples. Try and get as much use of that as you can. Roll with it.
For example, my Marshall Lee wig, I use it for Marshall Lee, I use it for Yuri from Kira Karamaro and Mustang and Kyoya and so many characters, and that's just one wig, which is quite a cheap one for eBay, but it's done me really well.
Okay, next part is wig caps. Now, a lot of cosplayers really do have to wear a wig cap under your wig to avoid your real hair poking out for more comfort and to avoid the telltale lumps and bumps around your scalp. A lot of times you get free wig caps that come with the wig, but if anyone else has found this, those wig caps are very fragile, they tear very easily, and they're also tiny! Like they're built to go on child's heads, not adults. Maybe it's just because I have an enormous head. But I do find that they're massive, so we found a really great trick. What you do, you use a pair of tan tights or black tights, or any colour that you need that's going to match your wig. You tie a knot, basically where the crotch is, sew along that knot, so you essentially have made your own wig cap. We've done a video tutorial on our YouTube channel, which is there somewhere, I believe, on how we did showing how to sew it up. But essentially, you can make a wig cap. It's got a much bigger circumference around the elastic, so it will fit onto your head comfortably. They're going to be a lot stronger because they're obviously designed to be worn in an area where it's moving a lot and taking quite a lot of strength. And then she's awesome too, which is fantastic, it won't get destroyed. My mum gave me some very weird comments the other day when I got a load out. She was like, why do tights all around the next calf and so nothing? So when I put my fake hair on and go to costume parties, it's very awkward. But yeah, they're really good to make because a lot of places do charge £2-3 for a wig cap that's going to be really small and it's going to rip itself apart in seconds. So I highly recommend that if you want to be really cheap. So you've got tights that you've already added and the waist part is still fine. You can still use those to make wig caps and boom, and there you go, you can make loads.
Very true. Sewing patterns. Sewing patterns can be quite expensive for what you get. If have a sale on, buy sewing patterns. That's what we tend to do. Only buy them if they're on sale, or buy multiple ones when they're on sale, so you're saving money. Charity shops also often have sewing patterns in them. The shop I used to volunteer at, they used to sell them for £1 each, which is a lot cheaper. So having a market is always a good idea. Also, when you get a sewing pattern, as you probably know if you do so, the paper is so thin and very easy to rip. Make a copy of it. It's some like, that's the word, wrapping paper. You can get cheap wrapping paper from Poundland or anywhere like that. Thank you. And yeah, basically you make a pattern of it so you've got a spare in case it doesn't work. And you have really big patterns, so you have like dressing and pattern covers attacking the body, which is really awesome. Also find it's really helpful if you are going to copy patterns out to write what pieces they are. So for example, you can write bodice front cut 2 on the fold, for example. And then write what size they are, so size 6, 8, 10, 12, whatever. Also write in whether the seam allowance, where the folds will go, things like that. It's going to really help in the long run. And that way you can alter patterns as well, which is what I've done. I think if you guys know me on YouTube, I do make a lot of dresses in this general shape. I have used one sewing pattern for all of those dresses and the whole time I'm making cosplay, just one pattern. I believe it's a simplicity one, but all you do is you copy the pattern from the bodice, the skirt, the sleeves, and then you can cut it apart, and then you can destroy it and make it into something else. You can rebirth it like being so and get some beautiful stuff out of it. So yeah, definitely copy over your cosplay patterns because you never know when you're going to lose it, or it's going to get damaged, or you're going to want copies to alter it for a different cosplay. Yeah, okay, here we go. Shop around and compare some offers. So, you know, if I'm a perfect wheel on one side, or before you do that, go and search on other sites. So, for example, you find something great on eBay, look for the same keywords on Amazon, look for on Coscraft, look for on any other sites where you can buy loads that you trust. Because someone might do it cheaper, they might have special offers, someone might have more photos. In the end, go for whatever you think is going to be best for your art and best for your kid. Don't cheap out on a sewing machine. Now, I am not saying you need a sewing machine in the slightest. A lot of cosplayers make amazing stuff just using like hot glue, Velcro, and staples, which is pretty impressive. If you do want to buy a sewing machine, don't feel scared when you go into a craft shop and you find that they're like upwards of £500, because that's terrifying. What you do is you can look on auction sites like eBay, Gumtree, so if anyone's got second-hand sewing machines, don't feel you have to spend loads of money because they are like crazy expensive. I actually inherited my mum's sewing machine. It's going on 47 years old now, and it's still doing fine. It's been all these cosplays and I abuse it heavily. So yeah, you can do that. You can inherit it from relatives, friends. If you go on like cosplay auction sites, you can find people that are saying, you know, I'm getting a new sewing machine, I want a new one. Who wants to buy an old one for me? It's always great to do that. Also invest in really good base makeup. Now, if any of you saw Kelly's panel station, we'll talk about stuff. She knows her stuff. But don't cheap out on base makeup. Things like foundation, or mascara, or eyeliner. Don't cheap out on any of those because your eyes will hurt if you use really bad quality stuff, and your face will break out. You need to, make sure that it's handled stuff. I'm not talking about getting like the most expensive makeup on the market. I'm just talking, go out, swatch some stuff, look at the kind of cheap stuff and the very expensive stuff. Do your research on what feels good for your skin, because you want to look very good this way. If your makeup goes orange or cuts off or makes you break out, you're not going to be happy. So yeah, don't buy cheap makeup. I know this is a bad place to say this, but don't let cosplay take over your whole life. If you've got bills to pay and other things that you need to do that are more important, especially if you're at university, you've got your own rent to pay, then try and figure out your actual budget, how much money you need to actually spend on living before you go into your cosplay budget. And if possible, I guess try and actually buy things gradually rather than just buying everything in one go. That way you won't be as devastated for your wallet. And in a way, it makes it more exciting when things are coming in the post gradually rather than all within a couple of days. Although I'm a terrible example for that. So. I do know when that happens, when you buy loads of stuff and you kind of forget that you actually ordered it, especially if you order it from like Asia and it takes a long time to arrive. And you suddenly get the price and you're like, oh, what's this? What's this? What's my everywhere? It's very exciting. I love it. What else have we got to impart? Other knowledge bombs we don't play.
yourself for birthdays and Christmas. Now, if you are lucky enough that you have family and friends that support and are interested in your hobby, you can ask them for elements of what cosplay for special events. So, for example, your birthday party, someone saying, "Oh, what would you like for your birthday?" Say, "I want a wig, I want this kind of makeup, I want some fabric, I want these patterns, or I want some kind of references." Just ask for like pictures of your birthday if they will let you, or not if say, you want gift vouchers for fabric shops, or you want money to pay for cosplay, so or can you buy me tickets, or can you put money towards a hotel fare, things like that. It's always nice because that means that they're feeling involved in the hobby, you're getting something nice, and you turn on the warm fuzzies on your birthday, which is what you need. Indeed.
This is one that probably a lot of you will understand. Get a job. Get a part-time job. Find a job. Don't do it. Part-time job, this is going to be CV, gives you social skills, apparently. And you get your money for cosplay. Well, if you get a full-time job, then you don't have time to make cosplay, so don't get your time job, that's terrible.
I learned that the hard way. But you can do it. Like you can get a Saturday job or a Sunday job, or like do babysitting. You've got a job in the house to earn a bit of money. It will feel so amazing when you're like, yeah, I'm buying this week, but I earned it. Spectacular. Let's start with cosplay piggy bank. So can you just get a box in your room that you put like loose change and stuff into? That's going to be your cosplay code. It will take a while to set it up, but it's quite satisfying. It's a good place to keep like holders and change and stuff. So yeah, you can start saving up, put a little bit of money aside each month, like a 10 or a 5 or whatever each month. And you'll have racked up quite a lot of money, which is always nice when you're cosplay. And it's quite warm up here, isn't it? It's lovely. It's like doing a sauna around the week. Beautiful.
It's not beautiful. Talk to other cosplayers. If they've got a cosplay that they're wearing, you really like, talk to them, ask for hints and tips. What was expensive about it? Did they do anything to make it cheaper? We are a community that likes to share and asking people how they made their cosplay. I really like that because it's complimenting them on their cosplay and so they are very willing to talk about their cosplays. Right?
Indeed, people can be very proud of their cosplays. You go, oh my gosh, it looks amazing, it's so accurate, how do you do it? A lot of people will be very happy to tell you how. If not, a lot of cosplayers do like work in progress shots or tutorials of their costumes as they go. A lot of them post on like DeviantArt, Tumblr, Twitter, they'll say, progress shots, you can look at costume and be like, how do you use certain elements? How do you do it? What tutorials do you use? What methods do you use? And a lot of people are very happy to tell you at least how they did it, which is really nice because we're a lovely community here. We do share a lot.
Sometimes a little too much. Anyway. When it comes to props, to keep it cheap, you can always use paper-mache and cardboard. That's a given, obviously. And it's really fun and messy. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say about that. Going back to actual sewing, I'm not really sure what's the cheapest. It often depends, but whether you make the cosplay completely or whether you buy it, there are ways to make it cheaper. Obviously, looking around, if you're going to buy a cosplay like on eBay, there are often lots of different ones on eBay. It's just a matter of looking around and not going for the first one you see. When it comes, obviously, if you want to sew it but you can't afford to buy the fabric, if it's possible to actually alter a garment, that might end up being cheaper. A good example of that is, if you're aware of the boys' Japanese school uniform, the black uniform with the white trim and gold buttons, that is really easy to just get a black men's shirt and just sew the trim on and change the buttons. It's really cheap and it's really easy to do. Even if you can't sew very well, you can hand sew it really easily.
It's in the list, that's pretty impressive. If there are any questions or anything you want to ask about the budget, because as a community we can be incredibly cheap with our money if you want to spend it on merch and stuff, which is always really great. Anybody you want to ask, it's so quiet, it's crazy. I think everyone's still getting my mail or something for me. I don't blame them, it was quite a struggle to have back again. This is not a good podcast. We can wrap this up. we can wrap it up with that. Thank you very much for listening to us rambling on, and I hope this has been informational. I hope we can save you some serious fat dollar by being cheap as possible. And as I say, check out YouTube tutorials, look carefully on eBay, do your research, and be careful with your spending, don't buy too much parking. Thank you very much for your it's Elias, and thank you for joining us.
Cool. Thanks, guys. That was very